Good morning, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 10:46 a.m. Eastern Standard on Tuesday, July 27, 2021. Please note this is not financial advice. It's intended for educational purposes only. Stay up to date with my latest videos, clicking that subscribe button. Get notified by clicking that bell. If you want to see the intraday updates, hit on that Twitter link in the description below. Let's move forward. Now, let's take a look at Nucypher US dollar pair. Now, a lot of interesting things have been going on over the course of the last week since my last update. I've been tweeting some of this out to kind of remind everyone in terms of some of the levels in Bitcoin, in terms of where we're at. Nucypher has been, I haven't sold or bought, by the way, full disclosure, I have not bought or sold any of my positions in Nucypher since my last video. I'm still 100% baked in. I was planning on putting in more at certain levels, which we'll discuss on the Nucypher Bitcoin pair. Just barely missed it. In the last video, we spoke about Nucypher. It was trading at 1775. We're at about 2085 right now. Good for a 15 or so % jump. We were actually a lot higher yesterday during this Bitcoin bull run to around 2135, all the way back down. Now we're backing off at the 2080 range, and probably driven by a little bit of, a little ebb and flow with Bitcoin, but to be expected. But notice as things start consolidating with Bitcoin, how Nucypher starts to ramp back up. Stable Bitcoin is good for us. Stable higher Bitcoin is even better for us. But in the meantime, we're still in that broadening wedge. We're still on, it's a bullish pattern. Still have to break this yellow line at some point. Hopefully it happens soon. Let's look over at the Nucypher Bitcoin pair, one of the big pairs that I always talk about. Now let's talk about this. The last time we spoke about Nucypher Bitcoin, we were trading around 596. Well, we're at 548, down 10% down on the Nucypher Bitcoin pair. Probably still trying to catch up with the rally of Bitcoin. Bitcoin certainly helped Nucypher more than the Nucypher Bitcoin pair. And like I always mention that, Nucypher Bitcoin will always kind of sacrifice itself a little bit initially. Somewhat dragging down Nucypher relative to Bitcoin, but that's okay. And we kind of want to see that. And it's just kind of testament to what we already spoke about on the last video. Now, what I mentioned on the last video, if you recall, was that we were talking about getting in at 530, which is right around here, and then another stab at it at 465. The problem is we didn't get to 530. We came relatively close. And if you look at the price action here, we hit 532 at the low. I was tempted to pull the trigger. It was like almost 9 o'clock last night. I said, I'm going to stick to my guns on it. And I did. I'm not upset about it. I could easily just as well get back into it. I don't know that we might still see a pullback here. Hard to say. I'm not going to call it between now and tomorrow. But I have a feeling this stuff will continue to consolidate at this level. Now looking over to the Bitcoin pair, as we can see, what we did also talk about last week was this diagonal line, which is a very clear resistance line going back all the way to June, which is a month. A month in crypto land is pretty long, especially for a lot of the smaller cryptocurrencies. So taking a look at this, we see that we've been hitting that yellow line for a while. As soon as we broke, it was a clear ride up. And we almost hit 41,000. We hit 40,640. We saw a triangle forming. I was hoping it would go a little further than that. Didn't. But close enough if you were trading this thing on the fly. So where we're at right now is hard to tell where this thing's going to go at this point. So I'm going to keep my eye on this. I don't see any immediate patterns shaping up. If I drill in on a shorter term basis, hard to tell if this is a cup and handle and we shoot higher, or we're just talking about a line, that may continue up. I think generally speaking, we're healthy here. We could continue to melt up to the 41, 42 range, or in my opinion, if we back down, we'll back down back to the 32 range. Okay, so that's kind of like where we're at there. And just to recall, on the last video, Bitcoin was under 30,000. So a fairly marked move up, almost 30% kick in the ass, so to speak. So let's go into Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin dominance pair, and everyone should understand this. Our goal for Bitcoin, as an altcoin holder, we want Bitcoin to regain its dominance. And why is that? Because it will allow more money to come into the overall environment, the overall crypto ecosystem, a lot harder if we get past this 50 level. And as I mentioned, and take a look at the last video, I'm not going to repeat it here, but 50, when we were at 50, we were in much better territory in terms of Bitcoin's US dollar health. So we need to see a 50 or higher handle. And again, I'll repeat this as I did in the last video, which is other crypto analysts have stated this. This is not just Anthony Wall Street Trader. This is real, some folks that are intelligent enough that know this market better than I in terms of where this is going. So if we can get to 50 and higher and go higher, great. This downward into this right triangle here, not a big fan of it. It slightly looks a little potentially bearish to me, just given that when you enter into this formation, you might start to go through a triangle continuation down. So if you're going in down, you consolidate here. Sometimes you may go down again. It's hard to say. This is a 50-50 here. We have to see how this goes, but it's like 52% chance it'll go down, 48% chance it'll go up. But one way or the other, something's going to happen between now and first week of August. So we have to see this play out. It looks like it wants to regain its dominance, and that would be great. I think right now, last week when we had the last video, the Bitcoin dominance was at 46.64, which was down here. And, we were talking about it. I was a little worried it might just melt down there, but it certainly melted up, and we'll see how this thing progresses. In the meantime, no real worldly news on Nucypher. Bitcoin, you all kind of know where it's at, especially if you're on Twitter. There's a plethora of information. I recommend you take a look at that, in terms of the guidance of that. But right now, Nucypher's starting to make a comeback here. We'll see how long this lasts. But right now, we have to keep our eye on all of the elements that make up the Nucypher US dollar pair, which is Nucypher Bitcoin and Bitcoin itself. So stay tuned for another video shortly, and we will catch up. Take care. Bye.